Bulletcast for life.
Get up! This is a revolution! This is our time to rise! Look deep within your mind, look deep into the hate in my eyes! We are the elite, and you are the weak, no matter how hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know who we are. I am Philip Antoine. I'm a microphone messiah. My co-host, Brandon Tanguma, is a Canadian destroyer, and we are the Bulletcast champion. Yay! Woo! Brandon, they can't hear you. They can't hear you, bud. Let them know. Let them know.
I know. Yay! Congratulations to both of us.
Yes. We are the Bulletcast champion. I don't know if I'm going to release this video yet. I haven't decided. But we are the Bulletcast champion. If I do release it, just look at how beautiful this is, guys. Look at that.
I hope you don't release it because I look like utter trash. I don't have my HD camera, but it's okay.
No. I'm not going to release it. I'm not going to release it.
Okay.
We both have to be shining and glowed up for me to release this.
Amen. Got to go on my makeup TikToks and, got to look fresh to death. But go subscribe to us on the YouTube. YouTube's lightweight popping off a little bit.
This popping off a little bit, man. We started out 2020 with like 120 subscribers. We got up to like 155 at the end of the year. I'm like, okay, that's a nice little increase. And then like 2 weeks ago, I checked it was at like 175. Now we're like 216, 17, right? Something like that. So, it's a nice little increase, man. I'm happy that people are starting to enjoy the content. And, I'm happy that people are here for the ride. I love the growth.
Go put us on your TV or something like that. Smart speaker. Just put us on in the background if you don't want to listen to us on your phone or something like that.
Absolutely. I listen to podcasts in the background while I do other things. It's a great way to pass time. It's a great way to stay in shape. Yep. All right, let's get to it. Episode 211, Load the Chamber. Because we got to talk about the Elimination Chamber. See what I did there?
Bang, bang.
All right, but before we get to that, HD for Life. Yes. The new custom graffiti t-shirt company that is available on teesprings.com. Designs consist of Get Her Done 1 and 2, H-Dog, Mother's Love, Hurry Up 1 and 2, King H-Dog, H-Daw-Get It, Mr. Pimpin', Mr. Sapo, HD for Life Americana, and Common Sense. They have hoodies, t-shirts, sweatpants, tank tops, face masks, bags, and by the bags, they're tote bags. So yeah, man, HD for Life /teesprings.com. Go check it out. The Americana one, I like that one. I love the Mr. Pimpin' and the Mr. Sapo. I mean, the Mr. Pimpin', I used to be big pimpin' myself. You know what I'm saying? Brandon, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Great designs over there. Definitely something to go check out if you're maybe looking to upgrade your wardrobe. Some nice little graphic designs if you're into that type of style. And if you're not, maybe try to switch it up. Try to be something different as we head into the summertime. Maybe by that time we can do things. Probably not, but you never know. I'm still holding on optimism.
We got to do things, man. And you know what? While we're outside doing things in the summer, we need to listen to Renee Paquette's playlist on Apple Music. Brandon, it is fire.
It is fire. It's a lot of stuff that I already have in my inventory, and it's actually an official Apple Music playlist. It's not just like some Spotify thing that someone just threw together. She's in whatever combination in partnership with Apple Music. I mean, shout out Renee. She's doing big things. She's pregnant. She's got her podcast popping off on the Colin Cowherd network. So doing big things outside WWE.
Yes, absolutely. Check out the interview she did with Sam Roberts. Yeah, man. I mean, the playlist. I mean, yes, Kanye, you got Eminem, you got some Wu-Tang on there, got some Green Day, got some Britney. Shout out Britney, free Britney. We got some Destiny's Child. Are you a Destiny's Child fan, Brandon?
I'm a Destiny's Child fan. I'm not going to sit here and say I know all the songs, but
what do you Say My Name or Survivor?
Survivor.
I don't know, man. Jumping is underrated. Jumping, I sang a little bit for you earlier. Jumping is underrated. Should I sing it for the people? I'm not going to do it. They're not ready for these vocals.
I like Soldier.
Oh, okay.
Featuring Lil Wayne, right? Lil Wayne's on that track.
Okay, well,
good stuff.
When I'm in my feels, I'm more of a cater to you guy. Yes. I'm
gotta handle big things if you know what I mean.
Oh, I'm sensitive, ladies. Come at me. All right, SmackDown. Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the tribal chief, our tribal chief. Because if he's not there, if he's not champion, we don't eat. Absolutely. We're looking towards WrestleMania, and Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman are out there with Adam Pearson. You know, Roman Reigns, he always speaks the truth. Because Roman Reigns wasn't there last year, it was the lowest attended WrestleMania of all time.
Facts.
Facts, major facts. So what's being set up is a they tried to put Roman in the Elimination Chamber too, and he's like, nah, I don't do that. And I was like, yeah, I like that. I like that. That's what's up. So there's going to be an elimination chamber on Sunday, consisting of a lot of people. You know, Jey Uso's in there, Kevin Owens is in there. I know Cesaro and Daniel Bryan are in there, and I forget who else. And the winners of that, or the winner of that, sorry, they go on to face Roman probably immediately after the chamber for the Universal Championship.
Yes, the official lineup: Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan.
It has to be Daniel Bryan, right?
Stay tuned for our predictions because I
Absolutely.
disagree.
And Roman was watching the ending of SmackDown. He watched it. We got a fan mail about it. It said Roman watched TV like a normal person.
Breaking news. I mean, see, everything Roman touches is great, even though he watches a television.
Bro, like I think I mentioned this before, but like somebody played a joke on the Miz. It was like before like they started the show. It was like a pay-per-view, and they just put him on the big screen. You know, the way they watch like TV on WWE, he was watching like a Browns game like that or something.
It's like, just cemented or whatever inside your mind.
Second nature, you know, second nature. So yeah, Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn do defeat the Mysterios, Dominic and Rey. How'd you like that match?
The match is fine. I mean, the Mysterios, they're kind of like spinning their wheels at this point. The Aaliyah Buddy Murphy thing just kind of stopped happening. I would assume maybe they're building to a son and father match at WrestleMania possibly, but for the most part, it's just kind of there.
It is just kind of there. Apollo attacks Big E.
Apollo did attack Big E. They're continuing with this feud. I think it's a good, solid, in between leading up to something at WrestleMania. I think Big E will defeat Apollo. Maybe we get something. Maybe because if it is looking like Edge versus Roman at the WrestleMania, then I don't know where that leaves Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens. I know it's more babyface matchup, but for the IC title, I think you can have kind of, Daniel will be motivated, go out there with Big E, and they can like put on a show stealer.
Yeah, I'd really look forward to seeing that. The return of Seth Rollins, kept calling him the Architect, so I guess he's no longer the Messiah.
I guess so. He was just like the Authority, had all the wrestlers come out and be good little boys and girls and surround the ring for his return.
Had his old music back,
which is definitely a lot better than his Messiah music, even though, if you're going to be a heel, I guess you probably shouldn't have good music.
Yeah, that's true. How'd you feel about the return of Seth Rollins? So when he started attacking Cesaro, sidebar, I thought, they're gonna put him in the chamber, but I guess not.
And now that I think of it, Seth Rollins, a heel. If you want to go more traditional route, you could go against Big E, but the promo was fine. Obviously, he kind of addressed having a child and how that's kind of changing him, and kind of using the child as a storyline device, but. It was fine. It was kind of more the same what we've been seeing from Seth Rollins before he left. And I know they ultimately walked out on him, but I still don't like having all the wrestlers being good boys and girls and surrounding the ring because they are told to.
Their employer told them to go out there, so they have to.
But wrestlers should be outlaws and be badasses and don't really care, like what Roman's doing. When Roman tells Adam Pearce, "Nah,
he's a different case, man. That's why he wasn't out there. He's at a different tier in the company. Like it's like he said, Drew is the guy they call when Roman doesn't want to do something. He has that kind of power. He has that kind of pull. That's just the way it is. And plus, like he's like, I used to go up and down the roads with him. We traveled around the world together, all the towns." I don't need to be out there to hear it. I know Seth pretty well. So you know what I mean?
It's one thing when it's like a lumberjack match, when in theory, the wrestlers would probably be paid to be a lumberjack. But then when it's just out there to listen to a promo, I don't think they're getting paid specifically to do that. They're probably getting paid to be at the show. But, it's one of those like maybe little things that people don't really think of. But for me, I think it's kind of just another paper cut on the death of 1,000 paper cuts with WWE.
Oh man. You know what, Brandon? We should run a show one day, and then we should be in the ring cutting a promo with all the wrestlers surrounding the ring.
No, but if you really want to show dominance, you put them all on the stage and you talk directly to them. You talk down to them.
I mean,
Tell them,
he was technically talking down to them because the ring is pretty high, and he's looking down at all of them and all this other stuff.
and then you look at the biggest guy and you tell him about all the bad investments you made, and you might be wrestling for 25 years, but yet you still need me to survive because you're an idiot.
Brandon,
Shut, shut up, the
Brandon,
Big Show.
you wanna go right for SmackDown, dude?
I mean, SmackDown isn't, well, I guess
Yeah,
SmackDown kind of is the problem.
You want to go right for Monday Night Raw?
Roman is good. Then everything else behind Roman, not so much.
It's been pretty consistent. I mean, like the Intercontinental title picture's been interesting as of late. There have been some decent things. Billy Kay and her resume, it always makes me chuckle. That's
But then every match is always the same distraction finish with Billy Kay doing something.
true. The Street Profits, they bring the swag like nobody can. They defeat Chad Gable and Blue Collar Working Man in Otis.
Good for the Street Profits. They're not tag champs anymore, and it's really like the Street Profits, and I guess since they're champions, Rude and Ziggler. But I mean, kind of overall, the tag division on both sides are not very good.
Yeah. Speaking of Rude and Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs, they took that loss to Bryan and Cesaro, which guaranteed Bryan and Cesaro in the chamber. How'd you feel about that match?
I mean, I thought it was good. All four of these guys definitely know how to work. They've been around long enough, and Bryan and Cesaro continuing with kind of a friendly rivalry right now. So maybe they go in and have their fun and just have a Matt Classic at WrestleMania or Fastlane or something. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good wrestlers on SmackDown, and they don't have to fill a lot of television time like on Raw.
Phil, I see what you did there. All right, NXT Evolve, Brandon. How do you feel about more wrestling and more championships in WWE?
Oh, I love championships, baby. If you have 10, might as well have 12. Just keep throwing championships at me.
Hey, Triple H said on a media call he's not a fan of a promotion having 38 championships. He's not a fan of all the champions.
Well, has he looked himself in the mirror?
Okay, he doesn't run Raw and SmackDown. He runs NXT. They have what? A men's, a woman's, a tag, a North American? They have 4. Then you have to go to NXT UK, which, I mean, if you have a separate division like that, you kind of have to have a championship.
And I mean, as much as I love what Johnny Gargano was doing, maybe I'm still kind of opposed to the North American title exactly being a thing. Just kind of keep it to, the 3 divisions. But I mean, it's definitely not as bad as WWE, even New Japan at the moment. But at least with New Japan,
New Japan has way too many championships.
But at least Ibushi has both IC and World, so that kind of helps out a tad bit. But the King of Pro Wrestling thing, that thing can bugger off.
Dude, like, what are they having a championship for that? Having a King of Pro Wrestling championship? Is that what they're doing?
It's not. I mean, I don't even know if it's a championship. I think it's more like a trophy, and they just have a gimmick match for every match.
Oh, okay, trophy's fine.
All thanks to Okada.
That's what they had to do back in the day. Like they had to carry trophies in ish, like not championships, or just winning trophies. But NXT Evolve, so I'll read it here. As reported, the working title is NXT Evolve, so I guess that's why WWE acquired Evolve, and they have already they have already made graphics, created branding, and a new championship title will be created with that name. Plus, plans can always change, but NXT Evolve is the tentative name of this project. Gabe Sapolsky and Jeremy Borash, remember Jeremy Borash from Impact Wrestling, are both heavily involved in the production, which is said to be nothing like anything else WWE is producing. The tapings for the concept took place at a warehouse that WWE briefly used for a makeshift performance center during the COVID-19 pandemic last year. WWE has already filmed some content for the show using several of the newer talent acquisitions that they signed over the summer of 2020. NXT's Josiah Williams, who just did the hip-hop intro to the NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, was the host of NXT Evolve show. It was noted that the new NXT show has more of a fight feel to it There was no live commentary, so anything that will be added for commentary should be added in post production. Brandon, how do you feel about NXT Evolve? Be honest with me.
So I just don't know exactly what they're going to do with it, because if it's like NXT, like the wrestlers kind of moving into Evolve and it's a different outlook, like that's cool, but NXT is kind of fallen off a little bit and their depth isn't as what it used to be. But if it's like, you know, a double A to NXT's triple A,
I think
then
it's for like the lesser known talent in NXT to really kind of get their feet wet, and then it's basically it's always been said that NXT is the JV, and then Raw and SmackDown is the varsity team. This NXT Evolve is the Frosh team. That's what it is. It's the freshman league. NXT and NXT UK, that's the JV league. Raw and SmackDown, that's the varsity league.
or double A to triple A.
Okay, sure, absolutely. But it's a tier system now to get to the top. That's all this is. It could have a blood sport feel. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. It could have a fight pit feel. I don't know. I'm interested to see. It could be one of those things that just falls off and we never hear from it again. Kind of like
The aesthetic of it sounds interesting, but I just don't know in practice, especially if it is like a lot of the lower tier PC talent. I just don't know if it's going to grasp me as much because, there's so much stuff out there now that we're getting a lot of more wrestling back. New Japan, I've been falling off of New Japan. I probably should watch that. MLW is doing good stuff as well. So, with so much stuff now coming back, it's going to be hard, I think, for NXT Evolve to stand out. But if it's more just for people to get reps, especially with no touring, then, I guess it's fine. But if it ever comes to light, then I'll probably check it out.
good. You should check it out. Bow Wow, I heard he's gonna be a wrestler. I heard he's training with the Quiche.
Bow Wow versus Bad Bunny, WrestleMania?
Oh man, Bad Bunny 24/7 champion. How do you feel about that one?
I don't. It's a 24/7 championship. I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm waiting for R-Truth to make a run in on Saturday Night Live, though.
Is Bad Bunny hosting Saturday Night Live?
I don't think he's hosting, but he's the musical guest. I don't know how you missed it. They plugged it like 5 times when he was on screen.
I'm not really a Bad Bunny guy, I'm sorry.
I just see Bad Bunny, talking to Mandy. Maybe we're gonna get a little storyline there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Shoot or shoot, baby.
Otis wouldn't like that. Mandy Candy. All right. Taya Valkyrie possibly coming to WWE. She's a free agent. She left Impact Wrestling, longest reigning champ over there in the Knockouts division. Look, I really wanted AEW to swoop her up. They desperately needed her. They needed some star power in their women's division. We saw a pretty nice women's match last night, but I'm saying to keep up that momentum, you need somebody like Taya Valkyrie. But I get it. I understand her husband works in WWE. It's just easier for them to be together.
Yeah, we talked about it on the NXT post show a little bit, and I agree with you. I feel overall, I think she would have been a better addition to AEW. But personally, selfishly, your husband works there. Don't want to ruffle any feathers. Join NXT. They still have a pretty solid women's division over there. It may be a little top heavy at the moment. I don't see them really having good depth. But if she comes in there for NXT and can be a difference, if Raquel Gonzalez or Rhea Ripley eventually get called up, and she could be kind of more of a powerhouse in that division because a lot of the women in NXT are kind of smaller. So I think she could stand out being a little bigger than them.
Yeah, she does have a nice build. Super talented. We've seen her out here for APW, on the same card as her husband. So she does great work. She's super nice. I had the pleasure of talking to her real quick, so I'm excited for her. All right, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, will be on Punky Brewster on the Peacock Network. Hey, WWE, continuing the Peacock ties.
Moving over to Peacock next month. Cannot wait. But honestly, I know of Punky Brewster. Never seen an episode.
Apparently, this was huge in the '80s. Dude, Soleil Moon Frye played Punky Brewster. So
Yeah, I knew this was a renewal, but I know the name, like the nickname, but
it's actually pretty cool because Freddie Prinze Jr. He used to write for WWE for a couple years. He's also one of the stars of this reboot. So hey, maybe Freddie might come back. He wrote some good. He wrote some good stuff. He wrote some good stuff back then. So I wouldn't be opposed to Freddie Prinze coming back working for WWE. All right, inside of the ring, FinJuice makes their Impact Wrestling debut. I don't watch Impact Wrestling. Brandon, do you watch New Japan? Are they worth the watch? Are they cool?
I think they're a good tag team. They've kind of been put together maybe last year or the year before, but I mean, with Juice Robinson, he's definitely been a standout since he left WWE, and I mean, this just continues the forbidden portal, forbidden door, and now we get Impact, New Japan, and AEW kind of all in the same show at the same time. Now, are we going to get like a melding of all of these? Is it more into Impact working with both companies individually? Is it AEW involved with it? Very interesting. Very just it's getting me excited. I know FinJuice isn't exactly the biggest name out there, but I think once the protocols start to get lifted, and maybe by the end of the year we can see maybe some of the bigger names pop up.
Absolutely. Oh, talking about New Japan makes me sleepy. Oh God, oh Jesus.
Because you've been up all night watching it, right?
No. It's just not that good, This day in wrestling, Leilani Kai wins the WWF Women's Championship in 1985. She defeats Wendy Richter. Mildred Burke unfortunately passed away on this day in 1988. Oh my God, a lot of deaths on this day, man. Like this is sad. No birthdays either. I'm sad about that. Kerry Von Erich dies on this day in 1993. The Texas tornado. You have In Your House 6, 1996. You have Owen Hart taking a loss to Shawn Michaels. Shawn put his WrestleMania match against Owen's brother Brett on the line. We all know what happened there. Shawn won. Boyhood dream achieved. WCW Super Brawl happened on this day. I think it was 2000. You have No Way Out 2007. You have World Heavyweight Champion Batista, number one contender to that title, The Undertaker, going up against World Tag Team Champions Shawn Michaels and WWE Champion John Cena. They were tag champs together, and also Michaels was the number one contender to the WWE title heading into their WrestleMania matches. Very interesting. It's an underrated match. Raw on this day in 2013, Dwayne Johnson unveiled the new logo, WWE Championship. That was it's the same concept what they have now, but they changed it. They got rid of the scratch, put the new crisp, clean logo. I mean, I like the current title now, but looking back at this one, if they had kept, like, they could have done the new crisp logo and just kept like the big champion arrow at the end instead of the small print of World Heavyweight Champion. I think that would have looked crisp. What about you?
I mean, I always kind of like the older championships, a little more detailed. This is just kind of WWE. This is what they do. It's all about the brand. So it's just a big, giant WWE logo with a little championship, and you get the side plates. I do kind of like the adaptation of the side plates kind of being individually designed. I do think that's cool. I think the main plates have gotten kind of basic. I know the IC title got a revamp, which I like it individually. I kind of wish they kept it the classic route, but the Universal and WWE championships on their own, I'm not a big fan of the front plates.
I mean, the spinner was a giant W too.
But at least it had like some things on the side. It had the eagle on top. It had a little bit of design.
The spinner. So it's. I know like the traditional fans don't like it, the old timers, but it's just classic. I love it so much. All right, Big Daddy V dies on this day in 2014. Big Daddy V, man. Mabel was underrated. Mabel was truly underrated. Love Mabel. Miss him dearly. SmackDown on this day in 2014. Christian defeats Sheamus, I believe. And also Ivan Koloff, the WWE champion for 3 weeks, dies on this day in 2017. Bruno Sammartino, he talked about how, his body was beat up. I recently rewatched his table for 3 he had with Ric Flair and Randy Orton. And he said his body was beat up, and, like a lot of the time back in those days, they were using boxing rings and not traditional wrestling rings. So there's no really give. So, they took the title off of Bruno. This is like I think this might have been the 8-year run. They took the title off of Bruno, put the title on Ivan for 3 weeks, and then they put it on Pedro Morales. And, Bruno thought, Ivan should have had it for at least a year. You know what I mean? So that's that was interesting to me. Any thoughts on Ivan Koloff, Brandon?
Not really. Legendary figure, definitely back in the day was one of the top heels in the business. And I agree. I mean, after having such a long title reign, maybe you want to bounce it back a little bit just to keep the fans guessing. But Ivan Koloff definitely hell of a talent back in the day.
Totally. All right, Alfie Lewis. We got the fan mail, ladies and gentlemen. Miz being smart and not competing in the chamber. I like that. Why can't baby faces be smart? Hmm? Hmm? I mean, so on Raw, they tried to put the Miz in the Chamber match, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the Money in the Bank contract holder. I'm not doing that. I can just cash in after. That's stupid."
I totally agree. There's way too many. I mean, it really always comes down to the distraction finish. There's too many distraction finishes in a whole, and also distraction finishes with baby faces. Baby faces should never be outsmarted. If any, they shouldn't be dumb. Look at the ramp when someone's music plays, or Billy Kay is like spills her papers on the ground, or something stupid like that. So, I mean, I agree. Baby faces should never really be dumb. And the Hangman Page thing last week, I completely missed him throwing the papers to the side and changing it up, which that is on me. I will admit
I
that.
I, I missed that too.
But I very much enjoyed the babyface being one upped and being smarter than the heel.
Yeah, see, Matt, we'll talk about that once we get to Dynamite. Hootie Who 420.
Who do you?
There we go. Mates, it's about effing time. Sting got physical on Dynamite. We are going to talk about that. Dan, I'm glad Roman watches TV like a normal person. He sent 3 crying emojis. Hey, man. Yeah, yeah. Yes. I mean, we can't judge people by the way they watch TV. Sometimes I watch TV the WWE way. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
But when you watch it to the side, the color is all off, and unless if it's like a packed place and you're trying to get some room, you shouldn't watch it from the side. It's just
My TV's to the side right now. I watch it just fine.
I mean, I'm not talking like a little bit of an angle. I'm talking, what is that? A 45-degree angle or 90-degree angle. Yeah, 90-degree angle.
Yeah, that's what I'm at. I'm at about a 45, 46, maybe 40 m.
Once you get like over 6, like once you get over 50, I think that's when you're kind of pushing it. I was told to be no math.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. All right, in Brightest Day X.
Mr. X.
Mr. X. Did you guys put something on Twitter about him? Is that what I saw? I saw like a notification. I didn't look at it.
May or may not. I do not run the Twitter.
Oh, you don't. Okay.
I run the Instagram. Follow Curveballs and Trash. That's on the Instagram and Twitter. Okay. Curveballs and CS.
But you run the Bulletcast Twitter.
Of course I do.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a mutual. I don't know who runs the Twitter. It's
I don't know. Maybe the other
the
guys,
invisible hand.
Maybe the other guy's still running the Twitter.
Does he still have connections to that? But I thought someone made it change the password.
Oh. That's true. All right, LA Knight. I'm sorry, but no. I said this on Twitter. It sounds like a collab between LA Gear and British Knights shoes. Why not something like Eli Blake?
Yeah, we talked about it on the Vengeance post show. I absolutely hate the name. I think it's maybe one of the dumbest names they've had. I get they want to keep the iteration, the syllables, but if you want 3 syllables, there's so many different ways you can go.
It doesn't like L.A. Knight. It doesn't sound right. Bro, just keep it. Eli Drake. Dummy. Yeah. Which TNA, they messed up. They should have sold those buttons. Like, you know how much people would have bought those. They missed out on a cash cow.
Unfortunately, TNA's made some
maybe
decisions.
Maybe NXT will sell them. 'Cause I will buy one.
I am not buying. I wouldn't buy an Eli Drake button. I'm definitely not buying an LA Knight button.
I would buy if he just says dummy. Yeah, I'm buying that. I'm buying that, man. I'm gonna play it on this podcast all the time.
It'd be a hell of an alarm because I want to shut that thing off as soon as I hear it.
Oh man. He also says, was it a bad move to have Riho face Serena Deep in the opening round of the women's tournament? I feel like it hurts Serena's credibility as the NWA Women's Champion. We'll talk about that once we get to the AEW recap. I'm now officially done with this. Ric Flair, Lacey Evans, Charlotte, whatever you call it. As soon as the first syllable of the word pregnant came out of her mouth. Oh, yes. Congratulations to Lacey Evans. She is pregnant. She's with child. Ric Flair still got it.
So I'm confused. From what I heard on the internet, like she's actually legit pregnant. So is she really like?
She's pregnant.
What? It's obviously not Ric Flair's child.
Whoa! Nate still got it. Nate still got it. I hear he and his wife have an open relationship.
Yeah, that would not shock me.
I'm just joking. No, I mean obviously it's not Ric Flair's child. But hey, she's legit pregnant, so hey, this stops whatever was going to happen here. Obviously, we're leading to like a Mania match with Lacey and Charlotte.
Yeah, it sucks. Definitely was weighted on that Mania match, but
Just put the title. Just do Charlotte and Asuka and put the title on Charlotte. That's all we have to do here.
I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like because I saw it before I saw Raw, and I was like, oh, maybe they just she said pregnant, and then Rick just was being Rick, and well, I mean, Rick was Rick, and they strongly insinuated that he is the father. So
When the kid gets of age and they'll watch it back, be like, "Mom, is my dad Ric Flair?" That'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun one. All right. Lastly, he says, "I want every ounce of this exploding barbed wire death match." Hey, I don't know. We're gonna talk about all that. All that. Let's just jump right into it. AEW. Dynamite. So we have Hangman Adam Page and Matt Hardy defeating the Hybrid 2, TH2, and Helico and Jack Evans. Pretty solid, decent match. They had a little bit of a kerfuffle in the middle of it, but Hangman and Hardy got the job done. And yeah, man. So going back to the paper swap thing, yeah, I mean, Hangman, he has just a higher tolerance because he drinks a lot. So, Matt thought he was already plastered, and no, that's not the case. He was very aware of his surroundings. He knew what was up. He knew Matt Hardy was a snake.
Which I definitely have a whole different outlook on that segment from last week now. That one's on me. But the match, it was fine. Matt being a little slow, a little clunky at times, but end up gets the win. Hangman doing most of the work. And then the aftermath, I thought it was enjoyable. Was it not Isaiah Cassidy? I was.
It was Isaiah Cassidy.
Okay, there we go. I got it right. Isaiah Cassidy was in the Jaguar suit. So
get up. Yep.
Which I mean, it doesn't make any why was he out there in the first place to hand him the papers? To hand Hangman or to hang.
Well, you see,
Hangman the papers.
Matt already knew about this, and he was just playing like he didn't know. That's what was.
But Hangman was the one who called for the papers. It wasn't Hardy who called for the papers.
No, but Hardy sent them off to his lawyer. So his lawyer called him and was like, "Hey, man, you signed this, and you should know what this says." So then, in the course of a week, Matt set this up.
But Matt didn't know that that's what it said. He just found it on Dynamite.
No, he was pretending like he found out on Dynamite.
Oh, okay.
That's why Isaiah was in the suit.
So once again, heels being smarter than the baby faces.
Yes, you got worked, Brandon.
Damn.
That's what wrestling's supposed to. It's supposed to work us, even though we know it's a work. Yeah.
Got me.
So we're having a big money match. How 30% of your first earnings of 2021? That's what they're doing.
I thought it was everything.
I thought all your earnings from 2021, the first half, the first quarter. Is that what we're doing?
Just give me everything.
Just give me everything. All or nothing, double or nothing. Oh boy. Yeah, so we're having a money match. That's exciting. And then he's getting beat up, and then the Dark Order comes to his rescue. Comes to the rescue of Hangman Adam Page.
It's nice to see baby faces actually having friends. Something we don't see a whole lot in WWE. And I mean, we'll see it if they're like in the storyline, which Dark Order kind of are, hanging around with Adam Page. But it's something that I think AEW does well, is they never have the babyface kind of hanging out there for too long.
Absolutely, totally. All right, the Inner Circle had a promo. Brandon, what happened?
Well, the Inner Circle did have a promo. They were backstage, all of them, minus Sammy, because obviously Sammy's not in the Inner Circle anymore. And Max, MJF kind of sounding off a little bit, Jericho telling him to shut up, but then Jericho comes at Sammy even harder. So, Jericho defending Sammy a little bit, getting a little angry at MJF, but he ultimately put most of the blame on Sammy.
Yeah. Have you heard the rumors about Sammy was supposed to do some stuff at Impact, but he didn't like the creative direction?
I did see that.
Jericho told him to go home. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know about the whole Jericho thing, but I did hear about him having creative differences with Impact.
Yeah, the rumor, because I guess Jericho texted Don Callis and was like, "Hey, tell him to go home" or something.
We shall see.
Yeah. This is why nobody has creative control in WWE. It's exactly why. Exactly why. You don't want the inmates to run the asylum. That's what happened to WCW. Some a little bit of creative direction is okay, but TK, you can't just let everybody do whatever they want. You gotta have a stern hand, be like, no. Yeah.
But you also got to appreciate the wrestlers caring enough for the characters to.
No, yeah,
chime
no,
in.
absolutely, absolutely. You can appreciate them to chime in, but you have to have enough, not enough authority, but you have to be like, all right, that's interesting. What if we went about it this way? You know?
But it's a different circumstance because it's a different company. It's not your company.
No, I'm talking about like that in general. Like honestly, man, like if Tony Khan was not just like, oh, go ahead, then Miro wouldn't be fighting over a video game with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. He would have been like, oh, okay, if this is what he should have done. Well, that's interesting. How about that does happen, but the reason why you're mad is this, and we get to the match with you and him this way.
Tony Khan's personality seems like he's always kind of the good guy. He's more willing to go along with things he probably disagrees with more often than I think he should.
I mean, he's a good businessman, but that's not how you do business. That's not how you do business. I mean, I'm not a businessman. I'm just a business man. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Hove.
Absolutely. All right. Riho and Serena Deep, they put on a good one, man. I haven't seen Riho in a very long time. This was good. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. I loved it.
I really liked this match. I thought it was probably I liked it the most out of any of the other matches on the show.
Could we say best women's match in AEW history?
I probably wouldn't go that far because I think the Riho and oh my gosh, what's the AEW champion right now? Hikaru Shida. I like their matches with Nyla Rose a lot.
Okay.
So probably like those title matches stand above it, but definitely one of the better singles matches, or I guess matches in general for the women on Dynamite.
Absolutely, absolutely. This was fun. Serena, it's crazy. She was in the Straight Edge Society. Like that seems so far fetched now.
I mean, she's doing good work in. I don't know if it was Mr. X or who, but they, talking about Serena Deeb maybe losing a little bit. I do agree, possibly, but they had the story throughout about the knee. And then the finish was kind of like a roll up. I really did enjoy that ending sequence where they kind of, traded all the roll ups back and forth. And I don't think Serena's hurt too much from this, but Riho coming back, I think if she's available, they want to push her. I
honestly thought Serena was gonna win. I was legit shocked. I was like, oh my God, she got her. She got her. Yeah, man. I mean, I thought this was interesting. And fun fact, the current design of the NWA Women's title, Mildred Burke was the first person to have that type of design all those years ago. And then WWE took that and gave it to Fabulous Moolah. A little history.
R.I.P. Mildred Burke died on this day. And I didn't really talk about it, but we've talked about her in the past. Definitely one of those women that don't get enough credit. Everyone is gonna talk about Fabulous Moolah, but even before her, Mildred Burke was doing things even bigger and better than Fabulous Moolah.
Her and what was her name? Etta James or Etta Johnson? One of the premier women's wrestlers of that era, also African American. Shout out, happy Black History Month, people. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Orange Cassidy defeats Luther. Orange Cassidy weighing whatever from wherever. Yeah.
Got in, got out. No one got hurt. That's all we can ask for.
Absolutely. Sting gets physical. He gets physical. Physical. It's about damn time. I've been waiting months for this. I am so tired of him coming out here with this bat. Like, you good? You good? Huh? All right. I'm gonna go back to do what I do. Go back to the rafters and the shadows and being a crow. It's about time so we could take a bump. That's what I needed to see. This is what I needed to see.
I enjoyed it. Taz cutting a good promo as usual. Sting doesn't say anything, I think, as he should, and gets a little bit up on the babyface, but in the end, Brian Cage power bombs him, which I think it did mean a lot because Sting hasn't gotten physical, at least taken a bump his entire run. So I think it made the action of just a simple power bomb even that much more bigger.
Absolutely, and Sting giving the bat to Hook, Taz's son. The kid can sell a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the first time we've ever seen him really wrestle at all.
Yeah, there was no Starks, there was no Hobbs. So maybe Hook has a future in the business. It's like, what, 15 right now? I'm interested to see. All right, Kenny likes kids.
Kenny love the kids.
Yeah, I wouldn't let that man near my kids.
I thought this thing was, we didn't talk about the golf thing last week. I didn't like that all that much, and I think I didn't like this even more. I mean, it's one thing with the whole kids and the no masks and everything like that, but the entire just setup and the story, I thought it didn't make Kenny look like a credible,
I,
not credible,
I
but
didn't even pay it. Apparently, he's a WWE champion, according to Jim Ross.
that's what I've heard.
Yes. I'm gonna send you this picture though, because this apparently this is this is what he's doing. So, what was the premise of this? Like, how did they set this up?
I don't know. I mean, I just assume he went there to read the Young Bucks book to put himself over. But then I mean, it's just kind of the worst of Kenny, I think, of him just kind of being a goofball and trying to have a lot of fun. But shout out Kenny Omega with the WWE Championship. But yeah, I didn't like this. I mean, I think the ending promo was good. I want more of that Kenny, but then I don't know if it's probably the creative freedom of him wanting to do like kind of crazy kooky things like this. It didn't mend well. And when you have like 15 kids and you're telling them to act and say a certain thing, it's not going to come across well.
Yeah, you see, this is exactly why you don't give people creative freedom, and the promos haven't really been all that great. I mean, probably the ending promo was probably his best promo like, at the end of the show, but the guy's been doing this for 20 years, still isn't a decent promo. That says something. I'm gonna just say it.
I would say he's a decent promo. I think I'd say when he's on point and he has a clear, serious vision, I think he's a good promo. But I think he gets weighed down a little too much by wanting to do things like this. Now, it's one thing when you're in DDT or you're kind of lower mid card and he wants to have some fun. But I just don't think you want your world champion, reading to children. And it didn't really have it had the Michael Nakazawa punchline, but there was really no substance to it at all. Like the Young Bucks didn't come out and like test him, or he wasn't like an a-hole to the kids. He just read the book and then left.
I guess. Why weren't some of them wearing masks?
It is Florida. Those parents down there in Florida, man.
My son don't gotta wear no mask. That's how they talk. Right?
Probably. I mean, it's Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Shout out to all our lovely listeners in Jacksonville.
Absolutely.
We love you
all. All three of them.
Wear a mask.
What else happened on Dynamite, Brandon?
Well, we had the Young Bucks retaining. Yes, they might have a title shot against the other members of the Inner Circle, but they faced off against Santana and Ortiz on this show. Good match. These guys have wrestled a ton. Young Bucks get the win at the end. Was it Ortiz? Kind of, showboating a little bit, and he gets rolled up on. So technically, Santana Ortiz probably should have won, but they were a little too overconfident, and that backfired.
It did backfire. This is a decent match. It was. But again, I thought MJF and Chris Jericho were the official team of the Inner Circle. So, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Maybe they're the number 1 seed, but...
Oh, they're the 2 seed? And then Sammy Hagar's the 3 seed, or no, not anymore. But oh man, maybe Wardlow and Hager.
There you go.
That'd be a decent team. I'm not opposed to that. Yep. There was a beatdown of the Young Bucks, and then the Good Brothers come out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened.
Is what happened. All right. There was a video package of Jade Cargill and Shaq getting ready for the big match with Red Velvet and Cody Rhodes. How do you feel about that?
It was okay. When you hype it up as being like them training, I thought it was going to be them either wrestling or maybe more like training, but they were just kind of shooting hoops. And I was like, okay.
Well, Shaq has to stick with what he knows.
I mean, I think the best thing on the entire show, most surprising thing, is Shaq hit a free throw.
Oh, he's a legend. Of course, he can do that. But look, man. I mean, my whole thing is this: this match is either going to be abysmal,
or it's going to be non-offensive.
It's going to be abysmal, passable, or somewhat decent. Those are the 3 things. But yeah, speaking of Cody Rhodes, he and Brandy, they come out to the stage, the big presentation, and we get the gender reveal. I love wrestling, how they just reveal like having babies and gender reveals. It's a girl! Yay! We're gonna have a little Codina, a little Dustina Rose running around. Yay! You excited?
So excited, just can't hide it. I am happy that they didn't like make it this overblown like promo. It was just Brandy had a little backstage video. They come out, have an explosion. Okay, we're done.
Yeah. Get in, get out, go home.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right, FTR versus the Seidel's. Didn't know Matt Seidel had a brother.
Me neither.
Mike, right? Matt and Mike Seidel.
Sure.
Break it down. How was the match?
The match was fine. I mean, FTR gets the win as they should. And then after the fact, we get Luchasaurus returning with his horns. His horns grew back, thank God. And the baby faces getting one up on the heels.
Yeah, it was all right. It was cool. It was cool. You know, I was expecting, something else, something really good to happen, but it was just what the hell are they? The Jurassic Express?
It's intriguing that I am more invested in the lower card tag team feud than the tag title feud, which there really isn't a feud at the moment. It's just the Young Bucks.
Why are you doing that?
Because there's actually a story. Because there's actually a story involved with the Young Bucks. It's like, will they or won't they with the Good Brothers? And that's pretty much it.
I mean, will they, won't they? Will they, won't they?
Won't they, will they?
Hey. Will they, won't they, will they? Hey. All right, there was a main event of Dynamite. It was Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, and Ray Phoenix defeating the Kingston family consisting of the Butcher, the Blade. The Bunny was there, but Eddie Kingston was in this match. Eddie Kingston did an Enziguri. I was like, oh, I didn't know he could move like that.
Look at him. Yes, the babyfaces win as they should. I think Moxley pinned Eddie Kingston. And I mean, it was fine. Didn't overstay the welcome. It's going to be a lot of brawling with Phoenix, adding a little bit of the athleticism to the mix. But, definitely the main point of this match was the ending sequence when the beatdown and Kenny named the stipulation of the, what is it? What's the official title of the match?
The Exploding Barbed Wire Death Match.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you said you're excited.
These are big in Japan. These are. I mean, you have like exploding piranha death matches and all this other stuff. I want to see how they're going to pull it off.
And just like Cody with the gender reveal, I think Renee Paquette was just as surprised when they announced that match, just like we were.
I wonder what she said. Like, we're supposed to be having a baby. What are you doing?
That's probably exactly what she said. So you said you're excited about this. Me, not so much, Philip. Why are you excited for this?
I mean, I want to see how they're going to do it. That's what I want to see. How is this going to be presented? Like, are they going to have a different setup for Revolution to where they can make this happen? They can't have like the wrestlers right there because you don't want sparks flying at them. So they got to be like pushed back a little bit. I just want to see the aesthetic and the presentation of it, really.
AEW has done a fantastic job with their stipulations.
Or what, dude? Like, they probably, like the barbed wire, I mean, they're going to do that because they did that in their unsanctioned match. The sparks, they may not be real sparks, if you know what I mean. Maybe like sparklers, like Gilbert. That won't hurt you.
I think it's going to be legit like it was in Japan. But as I was saying, I mean, the stipulations with AEW, I think they've been fantastic. They don't use it all too much, and they don't really go to what WWE uses. They use the death matches, the WCW gimmicks that they haven't used yet, which I very much enjoy, and I think they've done a good job. That being said, going back to the death match they had at Full Gear a year and a half ago, I was not a big fan of that. I thought it was just kind of, a geek show, kind of like what's it, CZW. I'm not a big fan of that deathmatch hardcore style, and I'm almost kind of scared that they're going to do it yet again. I always thought, okay, Jon Moxley had the match with Joey Janela. He got that out of his system. No, then he's going to have with Kenny. And now he got out of his system. That was even bigger, and then now he's going to have probably even bigger death match. And this is probably the way to write him off so he can go on paternity leave. But I'm a little scared about what they're going to do and how crazy they're going to be, because Kenny and Jon Moxley, they're not going to pull any punches, I believe.
I think it'll be okay. I think they'll be fine. I think they will be A-OK. Notice John Moxley didn't have the U.S. title with him. He just mentioned it. Rumor has it that he did lose it for a little bit. It was like in a box somewhere in his attic.
I don't know why you're putting the title in your attic. Why don't you just put it in your closet or a safe?
Uh, mm, because it's not that important.
It's only the U.S. title for a Japanese promotion.
Yes. They were just trying to be like WWE. That's all they were trying to do there.
I feel it.
You know, I mean, Kevin Owens was a U.S. champion at the time. They have another Canadian with initials KO win a U.S. title. I mean, anyway, Elimination Chambers this Sunday. Yes, Sunday. Yes, Sunday. The title is not on the line because we're not defending our title for this.
Because
right.
we are co-parenting the title, and we have agreed that it should take a week off. The title's tired.
Fastlane? We don't know. Fastlane might be lit. We don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out.
The first Peacock show.
Yes, the first Peacock. You kind of have to do it. And I specified with Baby Huey because there was too much trouble. You know, Fastlane maybe. WrestleMania night 1 and 2, absolutely. Revolution? Oh yeah, the thing's on the line. Okay? Yeah.
So we're just taking a little time off, giving a week break, and then we're going to defend it like 4 or 5 times in like a month and a half, 2 months.
For sure. All right, here we go. So Bobby Lashley, the real United States champion, the real champion of our country. Aside from you, Papa Joe, we love you. He's going up against Keith Lee and Riddle for the United States Championship. This could sneakily be the match of the night. I think Keith Lee walks out champion.
Maybe. I mean, we don't talk about Riddle, but Riddle is just an absolute joke at this point. And Bobby Lashley,
he's always been a joke.
He just puts on the full Nelson just every single show, and it's like, okay, it's just kind of very repetitive. I mean, I could see Keith Lee maybe taking the title off of him, but
I think
like
he pins. I think Keith pins Bobby.
I could see that, but I just feel like if you're gonna do it, make it a one-on-one and make it like mean something. If Keith Lee is gonna win his first WWE championship,
that's true. Because I mean, generically, usually with African American performers, their first title in the company is the U.S. championship. So that's why I was picking Keith. You know. But I mean, you said one-on-one. Yeah, maybe Bobby sneaks away with it. And then I don't know. They do like Bobby and Keith the next night on Raw, and then Keith wins it there.
You could. I know you don't want to hold everything off until WrestleMania because it's still quite a ways away. Maybe it's something to have a title change of Fastlane because I don't see the big titles getting changed.
Yeah, I mean, or build up special episodes of Raw and SmackDown, or Raw in this case, like build it up and like have a big moment, like when Big E won the IC title on SmackDown last year. Now you could do something like that. Asuka versus Lacey. Lacey Evans is pregnant. She's not wrestling.
Well, I went on the Wikipedia and it's still there. I haven't heard any announcement of what the hell is going on. Like, what is? I mean, the whole Asuka Lacey Evans thing was more just about Charlotte to begin with. Maybe we kind of focus on the Raw women's division in general. Like, what are they going to do? Like, what is Asuka? Do they just pivot if she legit is pregnant, which it seems like she is? Are they just going to turn Charlotte heel or turn Asuka heel and have them face off at WrestleMania or whatever?
This Asuka title run has not been good. I mean, let's just be honest, guys.
She just doesn't have anybody to work with. Like when she had, I don't even know who she had, but I feel like she's not doing bad work. It's just she doesn't have any, good dance partner.
Can we get Asuka from like a couple years ago where she was undefeated and an absolute badass? Can we get Asuka versus Io Shirai? Can we do that? Like, why not, bro? Like, just do it. Let's just have a good match for the hell of it. I don't care.
For the halibut?
For the halibut. Do you like halibut? Are you a halibut fan?
I'm a big fish guy.
Oh, what's your favorite? You salmon guy, or you?
I'm a shrimp guy.
You look like a snapper, like a red snapper, like Steven Cesario.
No, I'm a big shrimp guy. Taking Bubba Gumps, I'm just taking down the bucket.
I love shrimp. I love shrimp, but I can't eat it around my mother because she's allergic.
Dang.
Yeah, I know it's sad. It's sad. All right, the WWE Championship is on the line in an elimination chamber match. There was a gauntlet match on Raw. Sheamus will be the last entrant. So here we go. Drew McIntyre defends against the Viper, Randy Orton, the phenomenal AJ Styles, the charismatic Enigma, Jeff Hardy, the Great White, Sheamus, and the man who was responsible for Kofi Mania, Kofi Kingston. Drew McIntyre is walking out the champion.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I mean, Possibly you can see Sheamus walking away with it just because he has the last spot, and it seems like that's the direction they're going. But I feel like Drew should win this. And do we see the Fiend return and mess
Take-
over Randy Orton?
Probably. And I mean, you look at that was a big win for Sheamus beating Drew on Monday because in a year, like since like late 2019 up until now, only 2 people have pinned Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton and Sheamus. That's impressive.
It is kind of the way WWE works. Is if you're facing the champion, you're going to beat them, even though maybe on your own you're not exactly being built up. It's just, oh, you've been the champion. Good for you. Now you get a title shot. Which, not saying that's what's happening here. They built up Sheamus. They've protected him for the most part. But
Absolutely. He's not having feuds with Jeff Hardy over alcohol anymore. Not getting piss thrown in his face. Oh, the Performance Center days. They should just make a chronicle about the Performance Center era of wrestling. I'd watch that. All right, and then we have the men's elimination chamber. So it's King Corbin versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso, and the winner of that immediately faces Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship.
so you said Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be Kevin Owens. It's really not like logical. You can have Cesaro or Daniel Bryan face off against him, but Kevin Owens, they've had the feud. They have some sort of a storyline. And maybe if Kevin Owens, runs the gamut, enters first and wins the whole thing, and then he has to face Roman, and then Roman, can dance on his grave and say how hard he fought and blah, 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 blah. Daniel, that's still a good feud lingering out there, but with Edge probably coming in to choose him at WrestleMania, I feel like he should hold off on the Daniel Bryan Roman feud. Like if Edge does win, then
really we should hold off.
Well, I mean, if I wouldn't want it just to be a one-off for Fastlane, but if that's what's the case with Daniel's contract possibly coming up, or him, stepping away, being more part-time, I don't know.
That's a possibility. I think whoever wins is going to take a nap for a little bit and then work a pretty solid, nice chunk of time with Roman.
And Roman's matches, they've been fine. I mean, they've been pretty good.
And
but with the story, it doesn't need to be a classic. He can go in there and be like Edge cashing in. He just, hit a spear and go home.
Choke him out. Yeah, Roman does need to, before he loses the title, he just needs to choke out dudes. Just needs to choke him out. Yeah, speaking of Roman, his cousin is The Rock. Did you see Young Rock? Are you a fan?
I did see Young Rock. Thought the show was okay. It had some funny punchlines. It was a little scattered all over the place, bouncing between eras, but I think now they're going to focus on a time frame and have a coherent story for every episode. So, I'm giving it not a second chance, but I think it'll get better.
Yeah, people were upset that Hayward wasn't featured, but again, realized the time frame of the story takes place when he's 10 years old. He left Hayward way before that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see something about him in the Bay Area with his father, but I mean, he's an infant. What story are you going to tell when he's a child?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how'd you feel about it, man? You think the people fit the characters? Like Rocky, the dude that was playing his dad really looks like him.
Yeah, and the mom too. The mom, she looks like the mom as well. I think they did a pretty good job in all the casting.
Andre the Giant, where'd they find that guy?
I mean, the dude who looks like Iron Sheik looks absolutely nothing like the Sheik, but I mean, he's only there for a couple of seconds.
Homie playing Junkyard Dog. I've been a fan of his comedy for a couple years now. He's doing a pretty decent job. I want to see if they're going to show Vince. I want to see if they're going.
They are going to show Vince. I saw a little picture of Randy Savage and Vince. The Savage one looks legit. The Vince one's a little questionable.
They're doing the Dark Side of the Ring thing, just getting people to play these characters randomly. Yep. Absolutely. There we go. Well, that's Elimination Chamber. Yeah, man. Hopefully, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want a really good match for Edge, but if he chooses Roman, I want him to change it up, dude. Be like, no, I don't want that. I want this, and pull out the big gold or something. Let's just do something, man. Let's really, because I mean, it's gonna be a good match, but if you reinstate the big gold, then people will actually care. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, people are kind of speculating on bringing back the big gold, which I am all for. As I said, I don't like those titles, and even putting a blue strap on it makes it worse.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, I mean I mean, like I've said in the past, I've been I've more a fan of the dark blue Universal title than the bright red. Plus, like we've said, Roman, since Roman has had the Universal title this time around, this is the most this title's ever truly felt important. That's just a credit to the character work of Roman, and plus he would look saucy as hell with the big gold. You know
Yeah,
what
I'd
I'm
agree
saying?
with you. I mean, the
Like it
big
made
gold, it looks legit.
it just makes people look good. Like I hate Kali, I'm like, but he looked good with the title. That's how it is. We're gonna skip Superstar Spotlight. We'll wait. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some great stuff happening. First of all, tonight, 8 p.m. I think Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. My commentary debut of Global Syndicate Wrestling High Voltage is tonight. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I call a battle royal to determine the first ever Global Syndicate Wrestling Next Gen Champion. I think an 11-man battle royal. I've done the last two people in the ring transition into a one-on-one match. You got guys like Wrecking Ball Legursky in there. You got Savage Sam. You got Super Nitro. You got Gio Galvano. It's a lot of great stuff, man. Brandon, are you excited for my commentary debut, bud?
Excited, and I just can't hide it. On AEW, they had the women's eliminator tournament on YouTube. Excalibur going back to his PWG days, all alone calling the action. So Philip going to be doing his best Excalibur impression.
Oh, am I supposed to say the N word during a promo?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. We didn't forget here. We didn't forget.
Never forget.
Give him the red X over the face like the Black Wrestling Podcast did Hogan. That's what he gets. All right. Also, this Saturday, Global Syndicate Wrestling Inception. It's their first show. Man, this is going to be a banger. This is going to be a banger. Let me go to their page real quick and just tell you guys what is going on. I'm super excited for this show. It's going to be on Fight TV. It's $15, but I think it's going to be money well spent, man. I honestly do. We have Deonna Purrazzo going up against Trisha Dora. We got Vicious Vicky and Gabby Ortiz. Richard Holiday from MLW is going up against Jake Christ. You have Michael Elgin going up against Wrecking Ball Legursky. You have Smiley, Ricky Reyes, and Gio Galvano. And then, of course, for the main event, you have Alexander Hammerstone, the MLW Openweight Champion, or National Openweight Champion, going up against the greatest man that ever lived, the legendary Austin Aries, for the GSW World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be a banger. I'm excited. These guys are going to do some awesome work on Saturday night. I can't wait. Check them out, please.
I'll be honest, I don't know a lot of the people on this list, but if you're telling me that they do good work and I'm trying to look for the next generation, then I'll check it out.
Yes. All right, Brandon, what's our promo pick of the week?
Well, our promo pick of the week, we had Kofi Kingston being a prominent figure on a Raw this week, and we got him again. Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan signed their WWE Championship match at WrestleMania on SmackDown, April 2nd, 2019. This is easily the biggest promo of Kofi Kingston's career, and I do not think he disappointed. We have Daniel Bryan just healing it up, and then Kofi didn't speak too long, but he was like, you don't know me, you don't know everything I've gone through, and I'm good. When I have this match for the WWE Championship, first time I ever had a singles match, I'm going to be the new champion. It was short, sweet, and to the point. The biggest and probably the best promo, I think, of Kofi's career.
Absolutely. I remember that time very fondly. It was such a special time. And this was 6 days before Mania, or 5 days before Mania. They officially signed the match. So that's the shortest time we've ever gotten a championship, a big title match at Mania. So I thought that was good. And we all know what happens. They put on a great match, and boom, Kofi Kingston became the first African-born WWE champion. Yes. All right, our match pick of the week. We're keeping it with the Elimination Chamber. Kofi has a prominent role in this one, too. He could have won his first world title on February 15th of 2009 at No Way Out, but no, Edge cost him that opportunity. So Edge was the WWE champion earlier on in the night. He loses that Elimination Chamber match and then runs in during Kofi's entrance, attacks Kofi and locks himself in a pod, and boom, walks out with the World Heavyweight Championship, getting ready for, which leads, the triple threat match with Show and John at WrestleMania 25, and Cena holding both Show and Edge on his shoulders for an AA and walking out the champion. What'd you think of the match, though?
I thought it was a good match. This is my blind spot in WWE, so kind of nice to see a little build to WrestleMania 25 here, but poor Kofi.
Yes, poor Kofi. All right, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter at Bulletcast, Instagram, The Bulletcast, YouTube channel, The Bulletcast. Email us Bulletcast2 is in the number 2 sweet SWET at gmail.com. Every Friday night in Watsonville from 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. midnight, 104.7 FM KAPU, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, iRadio, Anchor, Spotify, Patreon. We're all over the damn place. We will be back Sunday night for a recap of Elimination Chamber. Check out my commentary debut, guys. Check out Global Syndicate Wrestling Inception on Saturday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then, of course, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay clean, stay strong, stay safe, stay quarantined. Diamonds are forever. So is the microphone messiah. Aye!
Death is what I seek. We are the elite, and you are the weak, and I will always get back up on my feet.
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.